All right, so I have my brushes, I have my water off to the side. I just have nice clean water here. Nice clean water. And I have several brushes. I've got all different sorts. When you're working with watercolor, remember you want those nice, soft, fluffy, soft brushes. Red sable is good. And you don't have to get the really expensive ones. As long as they're soft. You don't want stiff, hard brushes for watercolors. They should be very, very soft. And I'll just get some rows because I don't know what I'm going to need yet. All right, so on this, I'm just using this paper as an example. It's a very, very big piece of paper. And you can only see like a section of it, but I'm just doing that. So these are my little practice areas here. So you can do wet on wet. You can wet the paper first. If you do that, it'll bleed. You can do wet on dry. That means you can do the background, let it dry, and then paint over it, and then that way it doesn't bleed, and you can have crisper lines. So it depends on, what you want to use. It depends on what look you're trying to achieve. So I'm just going to start out kind of, last week I did yellows. Why don't I do some blues? And I had a tray here. Let me go ahead and show you what I had. There's my same tray I had, same colors. They dry up. You can just wet them and use them again. And I'm not going to sit it here because I don't want to get my paper dirty. I'm just going to sit it off to the side on my little table over here. All right, so I'm just going to wet an area. Let's see. I can go all the way up here. I'm trying to see how much I can fit. I'm going in the wrong direction. Okay, there we go. There we go. Here's my area. Okay, I'm trying to stay within the area that I can work with that you can see in the document camera. And then I also have another recording device behind that. So I can this paper is very thick. I think this is like a 300-pound watercolor cold press. It's very, very thick. It's like cardstock almost. It's thicker than cardstock. The only thing about these little soft brushes, the bristles will come off. We talked about that last week. But try not to touch it too much because you have oil in your fingers. Get some tweezers if you have tweezers. So the thicker your paper, the wetter you can get it. It will warp, but it should hold. All right, so I'm just going to stay within the frame of where you can see here. And I feel like doing some blue. So I'm just going to, this is so dry, and there's a little bit of purple there. I'm just going to take this brush, make sure I got a little bit more water in there, and I'm just going to wet that. That's not going to be enough. And I have some over here. I don't want too much purple right now. I've got some blue in there, but it's some green down in there. So I just wanted to show you that I'm reconstituting that dried up paint. So I already got one drip there. Now I totally forgot how far I went up. Let's see, somewhere. Now see, that's too purple. It doesn't have to, that's too purple for what I want right now. But you always want to start with your sky first. And when you were in kindergarten, you like stop the sky. Don't stop the sky. Bring it all the way down to the ground, to the horizon line. Let's get that bristle off of there. Yeah. I want more blue and less purple. So I'm going to find a blue that I like. Somewhere over here in my sea of watercolors. And you can use the ones out of the tube. You can use the little cakes. I have tubes. I have some really old tubes. Really, really old tubes. But even if they're dried up, you can still use them. Like, let's just say, for example, let me just show you this. So this tube is like years old, but I can just open that up and then put the little crumbs in my paint tray and it'll work. And just wet it. Or I can find another blue that I like. And I don't know what these, let's see, this is ultramarine, and some of them don't look exactly like it when you, that might be pretty. I'll try that. So what does that look like? I don't know. Let's see. It's not too bad. Just remember, when you're using watercolor, you want a lot of water. You don't want your paint to be thick. Now this is kind of drying, and my brush is kind of drying. So let's just dab. Oh, that's going to be very pretty. But I need more water now because it's been sitting there under this hot, I've got a really hot lamp over here, my light. Now this is a lot of color. That's going to be probably too blue. I'm going to need to get a lot more water with that. I'm putting it here. I don't really want it to mix with that purple because I don't really want purple right now. So I'm just kind of staying on the edges, and the purple is going to pool down there. So let's see what this looks like. Yeah, that's okay. Not bad. And this will mix and blend and mix and blend and mix and blend. Just mix and blend, however you want it to look. If you don't know yet, it's okay. You want to make it up as you go, that's okay. No problem. I'm a little off the screen here. And just keep it, make sure if you don't want a line to show, just make sure you blend that while it's wet. Okay. Just blend, blend. Long, soft strokes while it's wet will help make that blend together. And then if it looks like there's too much water, take some of the extra water out of your brush and then put it back in that area and pick up some of that paint. What am I talking about? Let me show you. Let me get got some paper towels up underneath me here. So just get all that extra out and then go pick some of that up. These bristles are horrible. This brush is new. Try to use clean hands because obviously whatever is on your hands is going to go on this paper. This paper is very, very absorbent. All right, so I'm being shy here. Now, I took some of my water out just to show you that, but I need more because I'm getting down here and it's getting dry. So I want this to spread all the way down here. I think that's taking up all the area where you can see in the document camera. These bristles are not being my friend today. All right, so stay encouraged, guys. Let the watercolor work for you. All right, that's not blue enough, so I want more. I did kind of like the purple now that I'm looking at it. It's very blue, still not more. I need more blue. And as long as it's wet, you can blend. So if you want it to blend, do wet on wet. If you want hard lines, do wet on dry. Now I'm going to be really, really brave. And I think I'm going to come up here with some more blue. But before I do that, I need to, my paper's falling off of the edge. So let me fix that for you. Just for the sake of the recording. I got a big piece of, there we go. Now, I don't know if that's gonna make it flat. Yeah, that's actually better, I think. Okay. I'm just gonna make that, there we go. Now I pressed that down so it would be flat, so obviously I need to blend that more. So I want some more blue up here at the top. kind of off the screen that you can see, but it's okay. And as long as you keep it moving, you're good. I want some, I'm gonna get really crazy with this blue. Just gonna go pick up more blue. Let's see how brave I want to get today, huh? Now this is called layering. I dropped in a lighter layer because I wasn't sure. And then you have time to play with it. And get brave with it. If these little bristles would stay off my paper, I would be very happy. Because that will dry on your paper. And you can see where I put my fingers. That makes a mark in my paper. It's that oil in your fingers. So you want to try to keep your fingers off of it. This is a demo, but do as I say, not as I do. Ha ha ha. All right, keep that moving, keep that. I do want it to be a gradation, so I don't want that blue to come all the way down. That will bleed and blend. Soft, light strokes to make it disappear. All right, why don't I get some more? I'm still wanting more blue. I'm just gonna get really, really, really brave now. I'm just gonna pick all of that up. Just because I feel like it. Why not? And then I'm gonna keep the majority of the blue up here at the top. So you can see the difference. I think I want a little bit more. And you know, with the sky, the higher up you go, the darker it is under normal circumstances. So I'm gonna leave that and blend, blend, blend. I'm just kind of stopping there because this is just for my demo and that's probably all you can see. Now, I think I want some, I'm gonna do my clouds this time. Last week I forgot to do my clouds. So I'm gonna take a dry paper towel while that's still wet. Try to get one that doesn't have any paint on it, because whatever, if you have paint on your paper towel, it's gonna get in your picture. So I'm gonna take, this is wet right here. I'm gonna, let's see, I'm just gonna grab an area that's dry. And I'm gonna make my clouds like this. Oh, yes, yes. Y'all, is that not beautiful? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you can see what I see, but it is so beautiful. Okay, just like, oh my goodness. This is making me very happy right now. So very happy right now. Oh my goodness. And this is off the page that y'all can see. I'm gonna put one up there. And remember, when you're doing clouds, focus on the top of the clouds. Oh, that makes me so very happy. Now, what I'm going to do, where that really dark blue is at the top, I'm going to wet my paper towel because it's not picking up enough. It's not picking up enough paint. I just wet it a little bit, and let's see what that looks like. So I'm dabbing, but I'm also pulling, and I just put my fingers right there. Try not to put your fingers on there. So I'm dabbing and pulling. And usually clouds are kind of like flat on the bottom and puffy on the top. So just don't over dab it. Just do just enough. And then when it starts to look like you want it to look, you might want to leave it alone because you don't want to mess it up. Oh, that makes me very, 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 very happy right now. If y'all are cloud people like me, oh, this is so fun. Oh, this is so lovely. Don't y'all just love the clouds? See, I didn't do clouds last time. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. And I see glitter. I have glitter from our Christmas tree that's on my paper. Oh, that makes me so very happy. Now, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to let that dry while I work on this part. So if you want it crisp, this is where you would need to get your hair dryer. So this is layering. So if you want to do wet on dry, you would need to get a hair dryer. If you want to keep working right now, then you need to blow dry this. But if not, just leave it, walk away, come back 20 minutes, it'll be good and dry. It won't even take that long, but whatever you paint on here now is going to bleed. So if you don't want it to bleed, then you need to let it dry or get a hair dryer. If you don't care if it bleeds, then go ahead and knock yourself out. But if you want to keep the consistency and keep the integrity of these clouds up here, then you can just kind of get the hair dryer if you want to keep working. Right now, get a hair dryer. So let me think. I think I want some trees down here, but I want this dry. I don't want to see a whole bunch of, I want to see the tops of the trees, and then maybe down here get closer to, showing some earth, I guess. Maybe. Or I don't want to slide this over a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to get my hair dryer. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get my hair dryer. So hold on one second. I'm gonna go get my hair dryer. Okay, I got my hair dryer. So I'm gonna plug it up underneath me. Try not to get tangled up in your cords. Keep the plug away from the water. You know how to do it. Let's see, I got one of these. All right, so I'm gonna dry this area. Actually, I'm gonna dry all of it because I want to put some birds up here. I think that's good. So when it dries, it might lighten up a little bit. And everywhere I touched to get the those bristles, you can see darker marks. So try not to put your hands on the paper. All right, so I want to put some, like a beach scene almost. I want to put some of those long, wispy, I don't even know what you call them. It's like you see at the beach, those really long, wispy plants that kind of like blow in the wind. Like when you're walking towards the beach from the hotel or whatever, and it's got like this walkway and then the sand, and then you have like the dunes or whatever, and those long wispy things. That's what I want. So I'm going to get a long skinny brush. Okay, and I might even have a skinnier one or a longer one. You want a line brush like one of these. Here we go. Now this is a brand new brush. So long and skinny. So whatever the brush looks like, that's probably the mark that you're going to get. Okay. So I'm gonna start with this one. I might have a little bit more control with the shorter one. And I think I want maybe what color do I want? like a tan brownish color. And I had a brown from last time. I've got some green here, so I'm just gonna kind of mix up some of that green and some of this brown somewhere. So just wet my brush. And I don't know, that's gonna be yellow. I need to be careful because I'm doing this over my picture just to show you, but you don't want to do that because you could get flicks of color in your painting, which I think I just did, but hopefully it'll disappear. So, and always, this is a good idea to have a practice sheet because I don't know what color this is going to be. I'm just going to take this paper towel. All right, that's too dark. So I need some green and water. Green and water will make that lighter. So green, more green, and water. So test it out before you put it on your paper. And then I don't want it to be more brown, so. All right, I think I'm good. All right, and then if you have water on the barrel of your brush, like along here, you might want to get that up. If you have water that's dripping here, because it'll drip onto your paper and mess up your marks that you're trying to make. So I'm getting the extra water off of the barrel of my brush so that all the water is concentrated in the tip. Now, I don't know what I want to do. I just want the grass, long grass. You want to go from the bottom. So I want to go, swoop. Yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. I just want, swoop. All right, then it starts to get dried out. It makes that little crunchy look, and I don't want a crunchy look. And you don't want to go slow with grass, but I had to do that because I had to fix that one that I just did. So let's try to fix that. There we go. All right. Just a couple of small. Now this part is where you're not going to be able to really erase, because if you mess this part up, you're going to have to like wet over it and make that part of the sky. All right, so that's all. Now I want to work on some ground here. I think I want it like a dune kind of almost, maybe. And then it'll stop there. So I'm thinking I think I'm going to use this brush to kind of have a little bit more control. It's stiff, but it's soft at the same time. So I want the same color, like that taupe is like a greenish brown. And if I use more water, I can go in lighter and then plan it while I'm doing it. And if I don't like it, I can kind of make it go the way that I want it to go. Now, one thing I want to show you, there's a little stray brush over here sticking off my brush, and that's going to mess up. So you can either cut that off or pull it off or make it, bend it back over with the rest of it. I'm just going to curl mine out of the way. So I just got like this little brownish color here. I don't really want a lot of it. Let's see. So I just kind of want a dune in here somewhere. Yeah, I'm just going to go lightly because I don't know what I want yet. I'm just kind of, see how you can go over the top once it dries? That's that wet on dry, and it doesn't bleed as much. All right, I'm sketching in what I want. I'm going kind of slow because I'm doing this. This is total, I'm not really planning this out. This is very intuitive right now. Now, had this been wet, if I didn't get that hair dryer, this would be bleeding all over the place. Now, if you want it to bleed, if that's what you want, then do wet on wet. But I'm really liking the way this feels right now. And I'm just doing something really quick for the sake of time. just to show you how those techniques work together for the painting. Now this, I want to just blend this out into nothingness. So I'm going to put some color right there. And then I'm going to get most of that color off and just have basically a wet brush. Dab the extra paint off because I just want to blend that out. I just want to blend that out. I just want to blend that out. I just want to blend. I don't want a hard line there. I just want to blend that out because I don't even know where I'm going with this. So just blend that out into what's already there. Blend, blend, softness, softness, blend. Light strokes to blend that out. Just blend it out, make it disappear. And then if I wanted some more pigment up here, pick up a little bit more, come back in on the top here. Now it's getting a little bit too brown. I like that green. I don't know what happened. It's mixing in with some red. Okay, now that's too dark. Get that while it's wet. Blend. Okay, there we go. All right, now I'm gonna put three little birds, because I feel like birds right now, and then we're gonna go. Let's get my skinny brush that I use for the grass. Where'd I go? All right, let's make them I don't want them black. I want them like a charcoal gray color. So you can get some black and water it down, or there's actual gray paint, or if you got white, mix some black and white. I'm just gonna drop some gray in here somewhere. That's too light. I'll get a little bit of black and mix it with a little bit of that brown. I just want a muddy color that's not hard black, basically is what I want. Okay. So y'all can't see what I'm doing. I'm down here in my lap because I don't want the... So basically I just got a little bit of black, a little bit of black, a little bit of gray, and I'm just going to mix it with some of that. Just make a muddy color just for my little birds. And then we're going to go, because we're just painting to make ourselves happy today. Now for the birds, I want my brush wet with all the extra water out. So you can get a color that you want, and you mix, and then roll all the extra out and roll it to a point. And let me just throw some birds in here. And that's it.